ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਤਾਜ਼ਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਯਾਤਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜੋ ਹਦਾਇਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਕੋਵਿਡ-19 ਦੇ ਟੀਕੇ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸ਼ਿਪਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ। ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਾਂਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਹੀਆਂ। ਆਰਜ਼ੀ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜੋ ਸ਼ਿਪਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਰੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਦਾ ਸਾਹਮਣਾ ਕਈ ਦੇਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਅਜਿਹਾ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਦਿੱਕਤ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਤਿਆਰ ਵੀ ਸੀ। ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਿਪਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਰੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਸ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਹੀ ਤਿਆਰੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ। ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਾਸੀ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਪੈਂਡੈਮਿਕ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਕ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ, ਜੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਰਗੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਨੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਾਸੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਰਸਤੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਨਵੰਬਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵਾਅਦਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਸਾਲ 2021 ਦੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ 3 ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੀਕਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ 6 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਡੋਜ਼ਸ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜਾਣਗੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਮਾਰਚ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਅਜੇ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਬਾਕੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਅੰਕੜੇ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਮਾਰਚ ਦੇ ਅੰਤ ਤੱਕ 6 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਡੋਜ਼ਸ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੀਕੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਆਉਣ ਦਾ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਪਿਛਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਯਾਤਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਐਲਾਨ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਪੁਸ਼ਟੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਯਾਤਰੀ ਸਿਰਫ 4 에ਅਰਪੋਰਟਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੀ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਮੌਂਟਰੀਅਲ, ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ, ਕੈਲਗਰੀ ਤੇ ਵੈਨਕੂਵਰ। ਮੈਕਸੀਕੋ ਤੇ ਕੈਰੀਬੀਅਨ ਤੋਂ ਫਲਾਈਟਾਂ ਰੱਦ ਨੇ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਅਪ੍ਰੈਲ 30 ਤੱਕ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ 에ਅਰਲਾਈਨਸ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ। 에ਅਰਪੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਟੈਸਟ ਤੇ 3 ਦਿਨ ਲਈ ਹੋਟਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਹਦਾਇਤ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਅਜੇ ਲਾਗੂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਈ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਲਾਗੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਵੇਗੀ, ਅਜਿਹਾ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ। ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਲੈਂਡ ਬਾਰਡਰਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਵੀ ਜਲਦ ਹੀ ਨਵੀਆਂ ਹਦਾਇਤਾਂ ਐਲਾਨੀਆਂ ਜਾਣਗੀਆਂ।
The temporary shipment delays that many countries are facing right now are a hurdle, but they're one that we were ready for. We knew that short-term delays would be a possibility, so we planned accordingly. But I hear it from all Canadians right now. People are worried. People are tired of this pandemic. They want to know when this winter is going to be over. They want to know when they can go back to everything they've done before. They want to know mostly when their grandparents are going to be safe, when the vaccines are going to come. That's why there's a lot of anxiety and there's a lot of noise going on right now. That's why I want to reassure Canadians that we are on track. In late November, we stood before Canadians and we said that we were confident that we were going to get 6 million doses of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine by Q1 of 2021. That's the first 3 months of 2021, January, February, and March. We are very much on track to getting those 6 million doses of Pfizer and Moderna by the end of March, as we predicted in November. I speak almost every week with the CEOs of these vaccine companies, and they have assured me that they will meet their obligations, their contractual obligations, to deliver 6 million doses to Canadians by the end of March, which means we are still very much on track for 20 million doses in the spring from Pfizer and Moderna, with more vaccine companies in the process of approval right now, and we will get everyone vaccinated by September. Now, a friend of mine actually shared me the story of how they felt a few days ago when their elderly parents in a long-term care home here in Ottawa got their second dose of the vaccine. He said it was a surprise just how much of a relief it was to suddenly not be afraid for your loved ones. That's a feeling that thousands upon thousands of Canadians are getting right across the country, but we need to get to millions. I know how tired we all are. I know how anxious we are to see our loved ones safe, to see life returning to normal. We feel it too. That's why we are working every single day to make sure that as many vaccines as possible come into Canada as quickly as possible. And yes, the turbulence week over week that we're seeing is of concern, and we're watching it closely and we're staying on it. But let me reassure people, we are still very much on track, as promised, to get those 6 million doses by the end of March, because that's what the vaccine company CEOs keep telling me. And I'm happy to reassure Canadians on that. We are focused on keeping you and your family safe every step of the way. Our team is in constant contact with the top people involved, as well as with our counterparts in Europe. Over the past weeks, I've personally spoken with the CEOs of Pfizer and Moderna, and this week I was on the phone with Pascal Soriot from AstraZeneca. They assured me that they will fulfill all their commitments to Canada. We've worked around the clock to negotiate one of the world's most diverse vaccine portfolio. That's how we have assured more potential doses per person than any other country. In addition to Pfizer and Moderna, 3 other companies have submitted their vaccines for review by Health Canada: AstraZeneca, Janssen, and Novavax. This review process is independent and has the very highest standards to make sure that every vaccine approved in Canada is both safe and effective. On vaccines, I also want to say a few words about COVAX, which is another important part of our overall plan. When wealthier countries invest in COVAX, half of that funding is for doses at home, and the other half is to buy doses for low and middle-income countries. In other words, our contribution was always intended to access vaccine doses for Canadians as well as to support lower-income countries. Through COVAX, pending Health Canada approval, we will receive at least 1.9 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine before the end of June. That's in addition to the 20 million doses we've already secured from AstraZeneca. Canada is committed to making sure that the rest of the world doesn't get left behind when it comes to vaccination. That's why we are one of the world's top donors to COVAX. To beat this virus anywhere, we have to beat it everywhere. In addition to COVAX, we've also contributed to other programs specifically designed to help lower-income countries get access to vaccines. Last week, we also announced new measures for international travel. All international flights are now limited to 4 major airports: Montreal, Toronto, Calgary, and Vancouver. With the support of our airline industry, all flights to and from Mexico and the Caribbean have also been suspended until April 30th. As I told the premiers during our 26th meeting yesterday, our government's priority has always been to protect Canadians. That's exactly what we're continuing to do. The mandatory PCR testing at the airport and the new 3-day quarantine measures will be in place as soon as possible. In addition to these new rules for flying, we're also looking at ways to further strengthen our land border measures. We'll have more to announce on this soon.